Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll give everybody a moment to get your audio connected, get settled in. Look at a bunch of little bouncy caterpillars happening. I suspect we'll have people rolling in for the next 5 minutes or so. All right, looks like everybody is connected to their audio. And we're recording. All right. Welcome, everybody, to Beyond Differences, How to Run a Be Kind Online Day workshop. We are super grateful that you are here with us today. And before we jump into the content, we're just going to run through our objectives, and then we're going to touch on accessibility in just a moment.
So welcome everyone. Great to have you here. So for today, we're going to be sharing resources, right, to support students for Be Kind Online. We're going to gain practical tips on how to run a successful Be Kind Online Day, and also get familiar with Beyond Differences bilingual student leader guide for Be Kind Online.
Thanks, Lisa. All right, so we are going to jump in with, let's go back. We're going to jump in with a quick check with y'all about accessibility. You can scan this code here. We will also drop this link into the chat for a Jamboard. If you've never used a Jamboard before, let's see if I can get out of full screen. If you've never used a Jamboard before, you can come over to the control panel here on the left side, and there's a little square with some lines in it underneath the big cursor one. And you can do sticky note, you can choose your color, and then you can type in whatever you want and hit save, and it'll pop up on the screen. And you can use the sticky notes to share with us any access needs that you have that aren't already up here. And so we use this Jamboard to collect access needs throughout the school year. So we have please read the chat aloud, and we will absolutely do our best to do that. There will be a point where we're going to ask y'all to participate in the chat, and so it may be moving a little fast for us to do that, but we'll do our best. We will definitely share the slides with you after the workshop is over. For captions, you should have the option to turn captions on for yourself in the bottom of your Zoom bar. It's a square that says CC for captions, and you should be able to turn the captions on and off. Share resources in the chat, we definitely will. Share resources via email, we got it. And we totally do not expect y'all to be on camera. We would love to see your shining faces, but not at all expected. And so if you have other access needs that aren't up here, please feel free to add those. I will come back and check this throughout the conversation. And if there is anything that's added to this that we can do during the presentation, we'll definitely jump on that. All right, and we'll go back to the big screen. And Sally, you could go through our community agreements.
Hello, everyone. I'm just going to go through these really quickly. First one is be fully present and take care of you. Respect confidentiality, practice empathy and non-judgment, use I statements, take space, make space, assume good intent, lean into discomfort with curiosity, take responsibility for impact, and stay muted when not speaking. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Yeah, we've got a good group of folks here today, so we do want to make sure that we're not stepping on each other's virtual toes. I don't think I introduced myself. Most of y'all know me already. My name is Frederick. My pronouns are they, them in English and they and a in Spanish. I'm Beyond Differences Professional Development Program Manager, and I will be running the slides here today. But I've got a whole ton of my illustrious colleagues on this conversation if you would like to talk with any of us about any of the programs that Beyond Differences has to offer. So to start with, I'm going to turn it over to Encore.
Yes, thank you, Frederick. My name's Ankur. My pronouns are they, them. I work with the National Teen Board as the National Youth Programs Associate, and this is a belonging booster that we're going to use as our check-in, our warm-up to kind of just situate ourselves. That was created with the National Teen Board. So if you want to answer with your response in the chat, I'm going to read out this belonging booster made by our students. It reads, what is a moment you felt represented by a character in the media? or ¿cuál es un momento en que te sentiste representada por un personaje en los medios? And so if you want to take your time, but also feel free to share your response if you would like in the chat so we can all enjoy it. I love the way it's phrased, so it's a moment too. Maybe it's not a full character, perhaps it's just a moment.
Thank you. And Encore, since we did this the other day, I know your response already. If you want to share, you want to model sharing your answer with everybody, please?
Yeah, absolutely. It's someone on Instagram who's a non-binary plant caretaker named Plant Queen, just because I love house plants and good fashion, and they do both excellently.
Fantastic. That is a great example. And other Beyond Differences staff, I know we did this together too, so definitely feel free to drop your answers in the chat as well. We'll give you all just a couple minutes for this and then we'll move forward. Wow, Irma, Neo in the Matrix. You just like went straight for it. I love it. I was so into the Matrix soundtrack when it came out. I see people typing. Ooh, TJ Morpheus. We're going deep with the Matrix reference. It's appropriate for BK. Teacher Escalante in Stand and Deliver. Teachers in Abbott Elementary. Teacher in a big metropolitan city. All right. Y'all definitely feel free to keep Fiona and Shrek. I love that. Definitely feel free to keep adding your responses to the chat. And we are going to move on to Janessa.
Hi everyone, my name is Janessa Susi. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the Partnership Success Coordinator at Beyond Differences. So I want to tell you a little bit about Be Kind Online Day. So what this program does is we really tackle the issue of social isolation online by aiming to cultivate a more welcoming digital space for our students. So it's going beyond the typical avenues of addressing cyberbullying, and instead it inspires students to reflect on their own social media usage and how they can leverage it to build a positive online community. So in previous years, we kind of shied away from social media and we're like, these are things you can do instead. And now we're under the understanding that social media is not going away. So it's really up to the adults in children's lives to teach them how to use it appropriately. So by participating in BKO activities, students will gain valuable skills in responsible online behavior, empathy, and digital citizenship. They'll learn how to use social media in a way that fosters connection and inclusivity. So many resources are available to support your BKO Day implementation, including lesson plans, activities, and discussion prompts. We really encourage you to explore these resources on our curriculum hub and adapt them to see how they could be implemented appropriately for your students. You know your students better than anyone else, and you want to make sure that they are going to be as great as possible for them. I'm ready for the next slide. So to fully equip yourself with BKO Day, make sure that you are registered. So the registration link is in the chat, I believe. So when you do register, it will grant you access to our awesome curriculum hub. So it's basically a treasure trove of resources designed to empower you to create a sense of belonging for your students. So while you just experienced a sample of a belonging booster that Encore just did for us, the curriculum hub also offers a ton of other belonging boosters, But my favorite part is the community-inspired curriculum. It's developed by certified teachers, informed by the 35 members of our National Teen Board, and tested by teachers across the country. So poverty visibility, queer visibility, disability visibility, body positivity, standing up for AAPI youth, and immigrant and refugee voices are part of our community-inspired curriculum. They are amazing, and we want to make sure that everyone is feeling included in our curriculum. So BKO is even more exciting with the Unmute Your Kindness Challenge. So this is an engaging week-long program designed to build momentum and spread positivity throughout your entire school leading up to BKO Day. So there are 4 activities leading up to the day of action, and each completed activity earns them. You can give them a sticker, a stamp, or a signature from their homeroom teacher or whoever is coordinating the event. And it's really a badge of honor for their kindness efforts. So the challenge provides a fun and interactive way for students to get involved in the BKO Day initiative and to get the school really excited. I'll kick it off to Simran.
Oh, I can go over this one real quick. I'm sorry. Alyssa here, she, her pronouns. I'm the director of national programs, and I am very fortunate to put out this Be Kind Online program with my amazing colleagues. And as Janessa beautifully described, there's so many activities you can do the week and the days leading up to Be Kind Online Day. And so now we want to go more in depth of what happens on Be Kind Online Day. What can you do? So one of the activities that we brainstormed, because we are aware of the restrictions around social media at schools, and we may, we anticipate that it could be disruptive. And maybe not all of your students use social media, but they'll be exposed one way or another. And like this is, we've often toted that Be Kind Online Day activities are a great brain break at the end of the year. Maybe you're in between testing and there's some time to fill. You can also engage your students. So this is a coloring activity page, and it's located in the student leader guide that you can print out. And what you can have students do is when maybe you're deciding to set up a table at lunch for Be Kind Online Day, just to raise awareness, like, hey, what's going on? You can have these printed out with some colored pencils or other utensils. And then you want to really encourage them to write down what does it mean for them to unmute their kindness. And we have those lessons. And in addition, if you're looking in the student leader guide, we have examples of that you can refer to students if they're not sure. But we really want students to remember what that means and be activated. And they can be getting inspiration from the days leading up to Be Kind Online Day. Maybe they're going to unmute their kindness by writing even more notes, maybe reoccurring positive notes to teacher. Maybe they're going to do it every week leading up to the end of the school year. So that's one activity you can do with students. And then we highly encourage you to maybe use your bulletin board as an opportunity to display these so that other students are getting inspiration and finding out other ways that they can show empathy. And now I'm going to pass it on to Simran for our alternative activity.
Cool. Hi, everyone. My name is Simran. I am the National Programs Associate here at Beyond Differences. And I'm going to talk about our fun filters, which is an alternative activity to the coloring page that we have for the BKO Challenge Day number 5. So real quick, I'm sure you all have heard about the platforms like Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram, right? So how many of you actually use it? Can you use your hands or nod real quick? I'd like to get a quick sense. Cool, awesome. Okay. And now, how many of you are familiar with filters that are used on social media? You can nod real quick or use your hands. Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. So basically, filters were created allowing users to, 1, personalize their content, 2, enhance their visual appeal that cough became toxic beauty filters, and then 3, experiment with different artistic styles. So social media filters were basically playful novelties, but they've evolved into powerful tools that shape self-perception and influence how we present ourselves online. So our team decided to create a filter that aims to bring back that playful experience to students who make up the top categories of users on social media. So real quick, I'm going to talk about how we can access the filter, how to use it, what the filter will do, and then the call to action at the very end. So first, of course, when planning to do this activity with your students, please be aware of your school policy. If it allows students to use social media during school time, use their phones, we advise that you block off a certain time where phones are allowed, like during lunch, or give the links to these filters at the end of the day so that students can explore it over the weekend so that it's less disruptive during the class. So how about we take a moment right now to pull out our cell phones and scan the QR code that is found right here to the left side.
And the link for the link tree is also in the chat.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. Cool. So when you do this on your cell phone, it'll take you to our link tree where you can then access 3 links to where our filters can be found on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. And then you can pick any of these and it'll take you to the app. And if you don't have the app downloaded, it'll take you to the page to download the app. Now, what if you don't use social media, or what if you don't want to download? Listen, no worries at all. Totally get it. This activity is optional. And like we shared, we just wanted to bring back that playful experience of using filters to students who make up the top categories of users on social media. So no pressure if you don't want to be part of that social media user stat. You can listen along and watch what this filter does in case you want to share it still with your students, just so that you're informed of, how it works and everything like that. Next slide, please. Cool. So let's talk about using the filter now. Hopefully now you're on the page for Instagram, Facebook, or Snapchat. And when you arrive, you want to make sure the front camera is facing you and that you're in selfie mode, because sometimes the camera will be flipped so that you're showing everything that's on the outside, but you want to be facing you. And how you can flip the camera is by double tapping the screen and the camera will flip. It'll flip either to selfie mode or either to the outside mode. And then you'd like to stand close enough to the camera so that a purple text box appears above your head saying, tap to get your unmute for kindness, the words of affirmation, like you can see here on this PowerPoint. Next slide, please. Cool. Now, if you are to tap the screen or the purple text box, the prompts will start randomizing. And after 5 seconds, your affirmation will appear. And this is kind of like a fun fortune where you don't know where it's going to land. You don't know what it's going to say. And you can keep trying this. You can keep tapping the screen to reset, tap the screen again to try again and get your new affirmation. We have a bunch of different prompts in there. And this is basically a video that shows how quick and hopefully easy this filter is. Cool. So now we know how to access the filter. We know how it works. Let's talk about what is the call to action. Do you have to record a video? Do you have to send it to your friends? Do you have to take a picture and post it to your story or to your page? Do you use it and keep your affirmation private and to yourself? And honestly, it can be anything, and however you and your students feel most comfortable. Of course, we'd love to see you all participating and sharing your media with us on socials by tagging Beyond Differences, but it's completely up to you and for what you want to do. But just know that if you do tag Beyond Differences, we would love to repost it and we will be sharing it with our network. And yeah, any questions? That just about wraps it up. Thank you for learning how to use the filter with us. Because I'll head it back to Alyssa.
Yeah, thanks, Simran. That was a really great breakdown of the plethora of activities you can do for Be Kind Online Day. some of you may be wondering, okay, what other resources do you have? I have students that are struggling with, they're using their phones too much, or they're seeing a lot of negativity online, and I want to support my students with that. So when you sign up for Be Kind Online, not only do you receive the activities in the student leader guide, but there are 3 very flexible SEL lessons that you can do. And so you can just see here an overview of what a lesson can look like. And they have a structure of an opening, an exploration, and a closing. So if you maybe, you want to gauge how much time do I have? Each lesson is designed to be about 25 to 30 minutes. But maybe you do, for example, this opening from lesson 1 as a brain break in the beginning of your biology class or for your homeroom. And really, we are just, we give you a plethora of activities within the lesson itself, and you can decide which one fits best for the needs of your students. And so for the next slide, I just wanted to give you some quick tips for those lessons. And as you can see, the gist of lesson 1 is focused on students being able to reflect on their own social media usage. And the tip that I have for that is if your students don't use social media, you can have a conversation about media in general. And you want to help students discover what brings them joy when they use social media or they watch movies, and what causes them anxiety or discomfort. Really, the point of lesson 1 is to start the conversation and get students to really reflect on and realize, oh, I didn't know how much of an impact that my usage is having on me. And maybe I have some agency in that, which transitioned to lesson 2, shifting my social media feed. And within that lesson, there's an exercise on helping students identify what their interests are and how that can be translated into keywords they can search when using it. So maybe they really like cooking, or they really aspire to be a great basketball player. What are some things that they can see on their feed that are more positive, that might kind of trick the algorithm into maybe not giving them or ingesting them more negative content than they want, right? For lesson 3, as Janessa mentioned, we know that social media is here to stay. We anticipate probably there will be restrictions, like when students started driving at age 16, social media in the next 5 years. But for now, as educators, what can we do in our control? How can we teach students the power of online community? So that lesson is actually really great, and I recommend for a science or history class. Are there any causes or topics that your students can connect to your curriculum or local community? In that lesson, there is an exercise in building their social media campaign. What is the call to action? And we also encourage them to reflect on what can you do beyond the screen? What are some things that you can research to benefit that cause, whether it be an environmental one or one to raise awareness? And we do recommend supplementing that with our community-inspired curriculum. And lastly, the last tip I have for the student leader guide, really take a look.
Yes, honey.
Oh, is there a question? Oh, sorry. Okay, so we highly recommend using the checklist and comic strips. So you can print those out, or you can put them up on your smartboard for students to help them delegate the tasks leading up to Be Kind Online Day. Really, the point of this is we want students to develop agency in running these days of actions. So as educators, you don't have to do it alone. And we hope that the student leader guide will equip you with the tools to do that.
Thank you, Alyssa. And all of our student-facing materials are available in Spanish. So the student leader guide is bilingual, and then the lesson plans also have bilingual not bilingual slide decks. They have slide decks in Spanish and slide decks in English. All right, Lisette, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Lisette, and she, her, and really great to have you here. So professional development, we have 2 great sessions coming up this Monday at 11:30 Pacific and 2:30 Eastern. We have How Disability Justice Made Me a Better Friend. I'm just going to read you a little bit about what that's about. So, when we think questions like what makes us feel safe and thought of around our friends, how do you know when someone cares about you? Through their experience with disability, ableism, and advocacy, Jazz Bell, our presenter, will discuss how lack of access creates social isolation and how the presence of access builds strong friendships and communities. This is the second time we're doing this session. It's a really powerful session. So if you can make it, we also will have the recording in our learning community. And just last thing about that, some takeaways, you're going to learn about access-centered approaches to friendship and relationship building, and also leave with tools and tips and practical resources on creating access. So I just put the link in the chat for the Zoom for that session to register. And on Tuesday, May 21st, we have body positivity panel with our national team board. Sally, can I ask you to say a few words about that?
Yes, hi there. We are so excited to be coming with this new panel. We will have people talking about a range of topics about body positivity, from directly about social media and how that works and the struggle with that and how to change your feed up. Also, colorism from a member of the immigrant and refugee community who are talking about within her own community. And then finally, also about gender and body positivity. And I love when the young people come because they say it from I statements and it's really engaging and right up to the moment. They can explain to you what is going on. And also the biggest part that I love about these panels is they are open to questions. So you can ask them directly how they came up with this idea, what they hope the impact will be, what they saw as a young person, how they navigated through. So I encourage you all to come and meet these incredible young people. They have been getting ready for this and they look forward to meeting you.
Thanks. And I just want to add before I turn it over, all of these sessions, you can join us live, and I put the links there to register. And we also have our professional development learning community, and that is our, oh, we have this here. Okay, perfect. Yeah. And I just put the link in the chat so you can join it, and then you get access to the replays. So if you're not able to join the live sessions, you get all of our past sessions on there. And we'll also put this recording, yes, on the learning community.
Yes.
Yeah. To share with colleagues then.
Yeah, the other things that are in the learning community are archives for past years' days of action. So if you do these 3 Be Kind Online lessons for this year and you and your students love it and you want more, there are tons of archived lesson plans from past years' Be Kind Online days of action. You can go in and find additional lesson plans that are directly tied to Be Kind Online. You've also got all of the archives for Know Your Classmates Day and No One Eats Alone. So there's tons of lessons in there. And it's a great place to connect with other teachers. There's a number of people in the audience today who are already members of our learning community. We love to see y'all here. Thanks for joining us. And you can scan this QR code or click the link in the chat to get to the learning community. And Sally, do you want to talk a little bit more about the belonging boosters?
I would love to. So at the beginning of this session, we did the how were you represented in the media? When did you first see yourself? The members of the National Team Board write these little tiny questions or activities just to get everybody's juices flowing and get that connective energy popping in the room. So we have a bunch of those coming out. More recently, in the coming weeks, we will have ones about body positivity and disability visibility that are made by hard of hearing members of the National Team Board and queer members of the National Team Board and immigrant members of the National Team Board, who are all thinking around the idea of Be Kind Online and body positivity and disability visibility. So those are coming in. And then also we have those as units, and we'll have individual lessons around those topics also created by the National Team Board. I think I'm most excited by an activity and lesson about Frida Kahlo and how she became an icon of disability visibility and body positivity and the end activity is, if you were to put yourself on the cover of a magazine, how would you show your authentic self? I think it's a beautiful lesson created by young people, and I've tried it out with other young people, and it was really exciting to watch how they bloomed in just engaging the ideas. So that's it, and I hope you keep it going.
Thank you so much, Sally. And we, if you want to make sure that you don't miss anything that Beyond Differences has to offer, we highly recommend that you add our calendar of belonging to your Google Calendar. You can keep up with everything that national programs, national youth programs, and education programs are doing. That includes all of our days of action, anytime we're releasing new curricula, all of our professional development and learning sessions, and all of the other things that we do, which is a lot. So definitely add us to your calendar. And we didn't want to leave y'all without giving you some additional resources. So Alyssa, can you tell us a little bit about these?
Yeah, I can't take credit for curating these. This is Frederick, who is very resourceful. But as you can see, just starting from the top, these are links to lesson plans, resources, and toolkits specifically for media literacy, some of which are from the California Department of Education and the NYC Public Schools Media Literacy Toolkit. I just want to reiterate that for Be Kind Online, our curriculum is meant to start the conversation and specifically around addressing how to mitigate social isolation caused by social media and cultivating spaces of belonging. But if you feel like I want to deepen impact, I want to teach my students even more skills cultivated around media literacy, these are excellent resources. And I highly recommend the resources from Dove. They have a lot of beautiful media assets and videos around young people struggling with body image. And they also have their own series of lessons. There's also the third from the bottom, the Taylor Hooten Foundation. We know how greatly youth are impacted by the media and on the internet in regards to how they see themselves. So we hope that you will join us again on May 21st when we debut the additional body positivity curriculum resources that we will have going that Sally mentioned.
Thanks so much, Alyssa. All right, and we're going to share the link in the chat for our feedback form as well, and you can scan the QR code and fill that out. Today's workshop, you can just put BKO 24. The date is May 1st already, and we super appreciate your feedback. They're totally anonymous. We read them all. We very much appreciate it. And we are going to be raffling off a $50 gift card. Let's see, how are we doing this? Simran, do we have a wheel of names?
We do have a wheel of names. Shall I share my
Fantastic.
screen or?
Yes, let me stop sharing mine.
Okay, cool. Oh, I don't think I still have access to share yet.
Oh, let me see. Let me see.
Once again, like everyone, thank you all for being a part of this workshop. Each and every one of your presences have contributed to a valuable conversation and learning experience for everyone. And without further, oh, okay. I still can't.
Lisette, can you make Simran co-host?
It's just fun when we all get to see the wheel turning and picking someone. Okay, almost. Cool. Okay, there we go. Cool. And let's click. Congratulations to Crystal Carroll. Yay!
Yay! All right, Crystal, we have your email from registration, and so we will be in touch with you later this week about getting you that $50 gift card. Congratulations. Oh, I love all of the celebrations. I love seeing all of your reactions. How fun. All right, and then let's see, our last slide for today. Keep in touch with us, keep in touch with our directors. You have Alyssa, Sally, and Lisette's emails, and we will drop those in the chat right now as well. And we definitely are super grateful for your time. We made great time today. We flew through our presentation, so we, Beyond Differences staff, will stick around if you have any questions, if you just want to talk about what you're dealing with your students as far as social media usage, using their phones on campus is concerned. We are here for you. We can always turn off the recording if we want to talk about it for real. And we are super, super grateful for y'all being with us in this work to end social isolation for our students and help build cultures of belonging online, starting in your classrooms. So thank you so much for being here today. Like I said, we'll stick around if you have questions or want to chat. But that's all we had for you.
If you do have questions, yeah, please unmute. Yeah, it's that.
Hi, I just wanted to thank everybody, especially the student presenters. You made me feel so much more confident about doing this Be Kind Online day, so thank you very much. And I cannot wait for the body positivity thing, presentation, so I'll see y'all there.
Good to see you,
Good
Pamela.
night.
Night.
Good night.
As teachers, you know, we do 20 things at the same time. So I'm going to relook at the PowerPoint that you guys have. And should I have any questions, then I definitely will text and email you because I want to make sure I do it right. Okay.
Yeah, Lynn,
Absolutely.
please feel free to email me if you have questions about implementation.
Okay. Love
Yeah.
it. And take care and be safe, all of you. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Lori.
Hi, first of all, thank you very much. I am really excited about the body positivity workshop, except that it's not a day and time when I can attend. Will you be recording it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Do you have access
you,
to our
Lori.
learning community too, Lori?
I will sign up.
Okay, I'm gonna put that again just right now, just so, and then so we'll put the recording there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a question. I think I have access to the information. I'm not sure that I like saved everything. So where can I go if I need to like pull something up?
You can go on the Curriculum Hub webpage. So I'll put it in the chat now. And that
Okay.
you have access to all our year-round curriculum. You're just going to scroll down to the section that says Be Kind Online Teacher Guide.
I'm not seeing that in the chat.
Oh,
So the last link that Alyssa dropped in the chat is the Curriculum Hub.
I've seen that. I actually have that open on a different tab. So if I go to that, if I open up that different tab, then there's but I'm not sure like I think I saved that in my favorites. So I think I should be able to get to it from there, right?
Yeah, so on the Curriculum Hub, basically it's like a web page to get to the links to our Google Drive, which is where we host it. And then there will be individual links to each lesson folder and the student leader guide. There's a purple and green box for each
Right, I saw those.
Yeah, so you just click, you just drop down and it'll expand for you.
Okay. All right, sounds great. Thank you.
Of course.
Oops, leave.
All right, y'all. If nobody else has any other questions for right now, we will let y'all go, but definitely feel free to email us, reach out if you have any questions. If you do take your photos with our social media filter and you want to post online and tag us, we would love to see your shining faces. And we hope you have a fantastic Be Kind Online Day next Friday. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.